hi! If you're looking for another spooky and funny podcast to add to your rotation, check out Anything Bones, now part of the Podmoth Network.
Hey Boneheads, I'm Sophie Schwartz.
And I'm Caitlin Hart.
And we're the hosts of Anything Bones, the podcast where we talk about bones and bone-related topics.
Soph, what are bone-related topics?
Thank you for asking, Caitlin. This can be anything from mausoleums to murderers, famous skeletons to cadaver dogs.
Bone churches, mummies, serial killers. You'll hear about them all.
And sometimes we have guests stop by and tell us their favorite bony tales.
Check out Anything Bones on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or wherever your little heart desires.
We release new episodes every Saturday.
Bon voyage!
Find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
The following podcast discusses adult situations and gets very sweary. Sensitive ears beware. You're listening to the Fuck My Work Life podcast, where the work stories are real, the laughs are contagious, and all of us can agree that work sucks. Welcome back, fuckers, to the Fuck My Work Life podcast.
Hey, everybody, I'm Kay.
And I'm Jay.
And this is the podcast where we talk about work shit.
And shit.
And mostly shit.
Mostly shit. A lot of shit.
I don't think there's shit in this episode, though, so rest easy on that one.
Give me time.
Rest easy on that one, folks, unless you're into the shit. Which, I mean, you guys send the stories about the shit, so I guess that means you are. I don't know. I don't know your life. How are you doing, Jay?
I'm good. How are you doing, Kay?
I'm okay. I had a shit day at work.
Yeah.
Shitty day at work. I had a boss throw me under the bus.
That's always fun.
Which wasn't valid at all. Like, I could understand if it were a valid bus throwing.
If it was your shit, but it wasn't.
Yeah. So
it was your boss's shit.
Yeah, that started off my morning real good, and then it just went fucking downhill from there. So I'm glad the work day is over. Did you not have your headphones on?
I can't hear anything in them anyway.
Really? How about now?
Yep.
Technical difficulties. We need some like elevator music. Ding, 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 ding. Wait, that was the Sex and the City tune. So yeah, glad the workday's over. Happy to be recording. I feel like it's been a while since we recorded an episode because we kind of preloaded some of our episodes for this La saison.
La saison.
La saison. We're gonna talk about something real quick. I'm gonna give y'all a trigger warning. We're gonna talk very, very briefly about pet loss. So if that's not something you want to hear about, just skip forward a minute or two. We're gonna keep it a little brief though. But I wanted to bring it up because we did mention our little dog Willow in our season opener.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to get through this without crying. We'll see how that goes.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, you can do it.
So,
just brief,
So about a month ago, we started to have little hiccups in our dog's health, and we thought we were going to tackle it and get it taken care of. And then out of the blue, it just turned really bad. And so we had to say goodbye to our precious little Willow. She was 17 years old. She lived a good, long, happy life. She was spoiled rotten, got more love than any dog ever. And we're very sad. I mean, it was a very hard. I was a blubbering fucking mess when they came to the house to do the deed.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. They've got that unconditional love, and it's hard, especially when you have to make that decision. We were hoping when she was having her health hiccups that she would just go to sleep one night and not wake up, which still would be very sad, and we would still grieve, of course, but when you have to make that decision,
Mhm.
it's so hard. But she was definitely telling us she was
Oh, yeah.
ready, and so, you know, she was at home. She was surrounded by her kitty
Yeah.
brother. Her kitty sisters didn't give a shit.
Yeah, her kitty sisters they checked out.
But Ghost,
Ghost,
was
I am so
sad.
surprised at how he has been affected by this. Like, loves her blanket that she would snuggle with, and every day, all night, sleeps on the spot where she passed.
Yeah. Well, and also, like, when she took a turn for the worse, there's like 3 days when she was not doing well, and he did not leave her side.
Did not leave her side.
He
He's
loves
such a
her
good
so
big
much.
brother.
Yeah, it's actually really sweet, but also heartbreaking. He just scared himself. That's all we're going to say about that topic. We don't want this to turn into a big old sad, blubbering cry fest, because that's just been my life for the past week.
Yeah, I mean, it was a couple days for me. I was a fucking mess. I was a mess, you know, especially like when the guy was here. Kay was having to like pat me on the back like it's okay, because I was just like, bah! Bah! You know, I know the dude was probably like, holy fucking shit.
I mean,
this big fucking tattooed motherfucker is a mess right now.
I'm sure this is what he does all day, every day.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has seen it many, many, many times. He was very sweet, and he gave us our space, and it was good. I mean, it wasn't good, but
it was as good as we could hope for in that situation.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, we got to spend her last day with her, and we got to spend the whole day with her. We took her out to the sun, and she got to soak up the sun. And
look, that little girl, she got seared steak. She got turkey. She got rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
Like she got to spend like half an hour in the sun, sniffing the grass.
Yeah.
Like she was a happy girl.
Yeah, she was. And now she's with her brother, Henry, who, you guys, if you've been listener since the beginning, he was our little tippy-tappy tap dancer that you used to hear in our earlier episodes. So they were together for like, I don't know,
13
years they were a bonded pair, so they're back together again, so that's happy.
Mm-hmm.
And we're done with this topic now.
Moving on. Anywho, drink chink.
And on that note, we drink
because we work.
What you got there in your hand, Jay?
Well, you know, because I'm a fancy hoe.
You're kind of a basic bitch.
Yeah, I got me some watermelon White Claw.
Did you get all watermelon, or did you get a variety pack?
Yeah, I didn't want a variety pack because there's some in there that I just drink because they're there to drink. I don't enjoy them. I
feel like each variety pack has a throwaway flavor.
Yeah.
Did you hear the story? I just heard this on Neatcast today about, so I don't know where it was, but somewhere where this family had like a screened in front porch, and a bear got in, and like this 14-year-old kid was at home, and the dog started barking, and he goes and looks, and there's this fucking bear rummaging through their screened in porch, opens the fridge that's out there, and drinks 3 White Claws.
Fucking A. Fucking cocaine bear.
Well, now it's Cocaine Bear 2, White Claw Bear.
White Claw Bear.
Yeah, so that just reminded me of that. I am drinking, since it is, I guess it's officially Oktoberfest season, because I know Oktoberfest technically starts in September. So I am drinking Karl Strauss Brewing Company's Oktoberfest, which is one of my favorite seasonal beers. I'm sure I've had it on the pod in
I'm
years
pretty sure
past.
You have.
But it's good. It's Germany and beery.
It's Germany and beery.
So we like that. If you guys want to share, I just burped. If you guys want to share what you're drinking to get you through your work week, just tag us. And you can use the hashtag #WeDrinkBecauseWeWork, and maybe we'll see it. Maybe we won't.
Maybe we'll check. Maybe we won't.
If it's on the the social media site formerly known as Twitter, we might not see it. But
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Go on TikTok.
I won't see it on any of them. So
Go on TikTok and like, I don't know, what's the thing you do on TikTok?
I'll see it on TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm on that bitch all day.
Yeah. So maybe you can, what's it called? You can stitch one of our videos and like show us what you're drinking. We'd definitely see it then.
Yeah.
We should make a video where it's just like, hey, stitch what you're drinking. And then people can just stitch that.
They can just stitch that.
Maybe we'll get around to that.
Yeah.
Look for that on the old TikTok, folks. Because we cool like that.
We fly like that.
We're those Gen X TikTokers that all the Gen Zers make fun of. You know what, Gen Zers? Fuck you. Okay.
Yeah. Fuck off.
Fuck off. You silly bitches.
Cheers, babe.
Cheers. I made it through that without crying too much, so that's good. I got a little teary-eyed. What else?
My tears were in the back of my eyes. I just wouldn't let them come forward.
Yeah, you got to put that shit on a shelf. You got to be a man.
That shit's, it's on a shelf.
Men aren't allowed to have feelings.
Hey, I just, you know.
I'm just teasing you.
Okay, and then we're going to stop it. In this situation, when we go to work, Kay has an office. I fucking do not. So when this happened, I got bombarded by everyone at work. How are you doing? How is it going? Are you okay? Oh, I'm so sorry. And she would see people in passing and they would look at her and give her a sad face and she would cry. I had people coming up to my desk all day. Are you okay? Is everything okay? What happened? How are you? So I constantly had to talk about it. So me saying I put it on a shelf, it's because I'm at work with these people.
You worked it all out.
Yeah, like it was good for me to get it out and talk about it, but also I don't want to be a blubbering fucking mess and at work in front of the people I work with. It's just not.
Yeah.
That's not. I got a motherfucking reputation.
Yeah. Okay.
See what I'm saying? I'm a motherfucking gangster.
Okay. Sure you are. You know, I actually went into work on Friday, which normally I work from home on Fridays, but I just did not want to be at home alone in the apartment. So I went into work because the rest of my department wouldn't be there. So I was like, oh, I'll just have a nice quiet office. I get there. They installed a new door handle on our office and it automatically locks when you shut it. So I'm locked out of my office. They didn't give anybody keys. So we had to hunt down fucking security to come up and try to like open it. And then the guy was like, yeah, so you can't shut it again or it's going to lock. And I'm like, well, is it going to lock me in? Because I'm not keeping this fucking door open all day. And then I was like, can I have keys? And they're like, no. Okay, great.
And also, did they let anyone know that they were just going to fucking randomly out of the blue change a doorknob and put a lock on it that no one has keys to but security when security is never in there?
Yeah.
And 3 other people work in there. It's so fucking batshit.
Yeah.
Why? And then it's like, oh, also they installed this wrong. That's why it's doing it. And it's just like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. It was a total mess. It's kind of been an ongoing saga, the door handle to our office. So it used to not click shut. So it would just slam shut. And the people that sat around there started complaining because if you didn't gently close it on purpose, it would slam shut. And so once they complained enough about that, they came in and then they just took the like locking mechanism out of it. So there was just a handle. So there was no like latching it. So then it was also just kind of swinging and slamming around. And then they install a new handle incorrectly, automatically locks, don't want to give anyone keys.
First of all, anyone who knows anything about doors and why they slam uncontrollably, it's not the fucking handle. It's the goddamn way the door is mounted to the wall.
Yeah.
It's mounted off kilter. So the weight of it wants to push it closed. And some doors are meant to be like that. But if it's slamming, I guarantee on those hinges, there's play in those hinges to where you can move it a little bit and tighten it down and it won't slam so hard.
Yeah.
It'll like stay open. A lot of those big doors, like office doors, are made that way. But our maintenance, They're like, just fucking throw a screwdriver at something, and if it fixes it, fucking A, you're good. Like, sign off on the work order.
Yeah. Well, and every other door in there is one of those slow closing. They have one of those slow closing mechanisms, so they can't slam the door. They're just like, nah, just throw it on there. It'll be fine. Anywho, that's the door and door handle saga of that. I forgot where we even started with that fucking topic, but here we are.
Oh, yeah. It was because I went back into Willow and us being at work.
Yeah. So I got to lock myself in my office all day. The end.
No one could come in.
Yeah. Which was kind of nice. All right. Anything else happening in your world?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I mean, football season started, but I'm not playing fantasy this year, so I don't really care too much. I do want to watch the Saints, which they're playing tonight, but I am interested in watching them because I want to see where they're at after a couple years of like losing Drew Brees and, you know, or not losing him, but him retiring and their coach is gone. I am curious because I am a fan. When I played fantasy football, K-Nos. It was
oh my God.
Every game, every day, all weekend, you know, it was fantasy football all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't play anymore, which is good because I've got so much other shit that I'm doing that I don't want to give it that time. You know, I don't want fantasy football. I don't want to give it that time. You know, I've got other stuff to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do want to watch the Saints.
Yeah. You got to watch the Saints. I don't have to watch the Saints.
Mm-mm.
I've got, I'm trying to think if I have something I've been doing. Not really.
I'm excited to get started on the kitchen cabinets.
Oh, yeah. We decided we're going to paint our kitchen cabinets, even though we rent. We don't give a shit.
Yeah, whatever. We've been here 6 years. Or almost 6 years. It's, you know, I don't see us going anywhere anytime soon.
And honestly, if we do...
it's not going to be in this state.
I mean, that's not where I was going. If we do... The manager's not going to remember what the cabinets look like when we moved in, so they won't even fucking know. They'll look better than they do now. Yeah. That's for sure. Yeah, that's a project we got going on. I'm excited. I've been seeing some cute Halloween crafts on TikTok. I'm excited. I'm going to do some of those. Maybe we're going to a beer and taco fest this weekend. That should be fun. And that's it in the news of us, I think.
Yep.
Okay. We do have a couple stories for y'all.
Yep.
Were you just holding in a burp?
No, I just burped under my breath.
Oh. Cool. You want to read our first story, Jay?
Sure.
Did I say what I was drinking? I did. Sorry. I'm scatterbrained.
Okay. This story was sent to us from Dalton. Hey, J&K. So as I said in my last email, this story plagues
case?
Plagues place. So as I said in my last email, this story takes place when I worked at Domino's. This was during peak COVID, so I was looking for anything that was willing to pay decent. I had just started working, and not even 3 days in, our 10-team store became a 3-person store.
Oh, ouch.
Everyone left with no notice. The only ones who remained were the store manager, my trainer, one of the drivers, and obviously me. It very quickly turned into me being the only delivery driver working from 6 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Jesus. Do you think that's a typo?
7 days a week for 15 months. No.
Fuck. That's not... Is that legal?
I have no idea.
Okay. That's shit.
During all of this, my manager became homeless. Oh, that's a good sign. Yay, America! Manage a fucking Domino's and you're homeless.
Ugh, well, that's a whole topic we could go into.
It's important to know that I actually knew my store manager from years ago, so we were friendly to each other. I offered a room in my house to her until she got back on her feet. Well, one night after I had gotten home, I fell asleep and woke up to her having gotten in my bed with me.
Nope.
Now, I am not a kind person if woken up.
Who is?
So I promptly kicked her to the curb, but remained civil at work.
Get the fuck out of my house.
Get the fuck out, you fucking crazy bitch. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you at work tomorrow. Bye.
After kicking her out, she then hooked up with the only other guy at work, my trainer.
Oh my God. She needs to widen her dating pool.
He let her live with him, and they eventually started dating. The three of us were working the entire time together. At times, during her shift, she would leave the store to go walk around the Walmart that the store was in, to do her grocery shopping, killing time, or just buy anything she wanted. She would randomly come up behind me and start touching me.
Ooh.
Everywhere.
Oh, hello.
Even went as far as to say some highly inappropriate things in front of customers. When I reported her to her boss, he just said, "Okay, and?"
Men can't get sexually harassed.
Yeah, it's not a thing, dude.
It's not a thing.
You liked it.
This is sarcasm, by the way, everybody.
After that, I jumped ship and have never looked back.
Yeah.
The only plus side to it was that as the only driver, I was making close to $2,000 a day.
A day?
For about 15-hour days.
A day?
0 out of 10 do not recommend.
Not worth
Thanks,
the money.
Dalton.
Yikes.
15-hour days, $2,000 a day. That's, you take 15 divided by 10, that's $200 an hour. So you're looking at $300 an hour he was averaging on a 15-hour day.
I mean,
if the tips were good.
Yeah. Which I'm sure, like, during that time, during COVID, when people were just happy to have food brought to them and, like, scared.
Am I right on that?
I don't know. I don't
10-hour day is $200 an hour for a 10-hour day at 2,000. So 15 would.
Folks, this is like watching A Beautiful Mind over here.
15 hours.
Carry the one.
$200 a day at 15 hours would be $3,000 a day. So $150 an hour. Yeah. That's foreseeable.
Hourly and tips could be. Yeah.
Or foreseeable. That's
foreseeable.
Feasible.
Yeah. And foreseeable. He's like writing numbers in the air.
The curtain over there had all these fucking numbers and fucking slashes and stars and A's and B's and Q's and
cartoon characters running across. Yeah, because I feel like when COVID was like at its peak, people were a little bit slightly more friendly before they just got extremely more dickish. So like they were probably tipping better and shit like that. And then everyone just took a turn for the worse. Have you ever worked in a place where you had to be like witness to either an inappropriate or just kind of uncomfortable relationship situation that wasn't your own?
Yeah.
I
have. I mean, it wasn't like anything crazy. It was just, like two people were dating and then they weren't dating anymore, but they still like sat somewhat near each other. And the girl couldn't fucking handle it. And she like went and complained that he's still looking at her during the day. And it's like, well, I mean, you fucking sit in his line of sight. Like, it's okay. But then they moved her and then one of them ended up quitting because of it. And, it was uncomfortable because these people, both of them.
Yeah.
They were dating and then they break up and it's like, well, I really like, he was my friend, but she was also my friend when they were dating. And now that they broke up, it's like, oh, does she think I hate her? Yeah. Or is he going to make me choose of being friends with her or friends with, it's like that kind of uncomfortableness.
You got to pick sides.
Yeah. And I don't, whatever, that's your shit. Unless one of them did something just fucking crazy out of line, then it's like, all right, well, you're kind of a bad person.
Yeah.
I don't like you.
Yeah. So when I worked for the popular fast food chain out here in California, I was 21 at the time. And I had a manager who was 24. And this was like, we were opening up a new store and there was like a shit ton of people working there and it was crazy. We were busy all day, every day. And it was just a madhouse. And, we hired a bunch of local, like basically teenagers. It's fast food, like, mostly teenagers apply to work there. Yeah. And come to find out, this manager was fucking hitting it with a 16-year-old
that's
worker there. And
I'm guessing
eventually
he was highly overage.
he was 24. I said that.
Oh.
I mean,
That's
8 years between like mid-20s and teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking gross. It's gross. And everyone started to find out, and it was really weird. And then come to find out her parents knew and were okay with it, and were condoning's not the right word, were like gave them their blessing. And I'm like, this is gross.
Yeah. You see 16-year-olds now, and
they're babies.
I see them, and that's a child.
Yeah, it's a child. It's a fucking child. And 24 is still young, but old enough
to know
that's
better.
Gross. You know, if there's an 8-year age difference when you guys have both matured and you're fully adults, that's different. But like 16 to 24 is a huge age difference maturity wise. And it was just fucking awkward. And it was, of course, the gossip constantly all day, every day. And just seeing how they were together at work, and like the little looks and the cutesy flirting, and everyone just wanted to fucking vomit, and it was very weird. So yeah, that
would be
story.
You know, more than that, it would be such a bad look for the company if like it was obvious to customers.
Yeah.
Because a 24-year-old and a 16-year-old, even though it's like they're both young, you can definitely see the difference in age. Like this is well into being an adult.
Yeah.
And this one is not.
And I mean, besides just the age difference, like I said, he was a manager. She was a new hire.
Yeah.
And of course, she got some privileges that other new hires didn't get, and got to move up the ranks much faster than other people. And the whole thing was just fucking gross. So yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Ew.
I mean, I don't have I have the one that I said, but I really, my whole life, I've worked around men.
Yeah.
You know, like in an auto shop doing pest control. Like there were women who worked with us at pest control. And then, you know, but it was all men.
Yeah. Really just.
I'm a man.
I'm a man. I know more than you. If you guys have any inappropriate workplace relationship stories you want to share, send them our way. We'd love to hear them. We could do a whole episode on that.
Pedo.
We did one on workplace romances that were like happy ending stories, but it'd be interesting to hear more of the like scandalous.
Yeah.
Like the boss was shtipping the secretary. They're both married type stories.
And they're out there.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking everywhere.
Yeah. Fucking everywhere.
Are you going to read your story?
I'm going to read my story.
Can I take a break real quick?
Yeah. Okay. Our next story comes to us from an anonymous donor. An anonymous, what's the word I'm looking for? Contributor?
Yeah.
Okay. Or donor. I mean, a donor.
Yeah. They're donating a story.
That's right. Oh, I wait for the stupid plane to go over. We live right by an airport, everybody. Like a small little airport, but
yeah, local airport.
Those little Cessnas are freaking loud.
Yeah. It's crazy.
You hear that? You hear that, everybody?
It's crazy the limitations they put on like the noise levels here in California of your car.
Yeah.
But then you have these planes that have like fucking V12 engines in them that are just like nothing muffling the sound, just
yeah. And then Camp Pendleton going off with their huge bombing of shit that we hear all the time that sounds like we're in the middle of a war zone. It's good times.
It blowed up.
It's fun times, everybody. Okay, anonymous story. Last year and this year, there's been an all-employee meeting in Las Vegas for my company. Last year I couldn't go because I worked 2 jobs, and if I went, I would lose out on those hours. Plus, my other employer is kind of a jerk and shut down any chances of asking for those days off. Same thing happened this year when I asked. I've been loyal to my second job for over 8 years, and apparently that means nothing.
Well, yeah.
I mean, does it ever mean anything? So I tell my boss number 2, that I'm really supposed to go this year because I didn't go last year, and it's a requirement. Initially, I was told it was okay by boss number 1, and they understood I was otherwise employed. They didn't want me to lose my other job, yada, yada, yada. This time, I get told I kind of have to go. So I'm back and forth with one boss, then the other. Boss 2 tells me that if I go, I'll be coming back to no job. Boss 2 also won't write me a letter stating I am being denied the time off, so Boss 1 just has to take my word for it. So either I go and lose second job, or I don't and potentially lose the first. Jesus Christ. Fucking...
Yeah.
Ugh. The first job is planning on doing this every year. It's a gathering where you basically spend 3 to 4 days going to product demos and schmoozing with clients. I work on the back end and never...
Such a fucking child.
and never have contact with these people, so it makes zero sense I would have to be there. Job number 1 covers all the travel, food, and accommodations for the trip. They consider this a quote-unquote Christmas bonus, even though we are essentially at work the entire time and are making them even more money. So, I guess my shitty work story is that I have 2 shitty work stories, LOL. Oh, God, that fucking sucks.
That. Okay, so job number 1, giving you, this is your Christmas bonus, giving you the food and whatever when you go there.
Well, you get to go to Vegas. You're in Vegas. This is your bonus, even though you're working the whole time.
I hate how companies try to say, like, you're going to work. It's not where you usually work, so you should be thankful for that.
It's fun.
And that is a bonus for you. But also, if you get in trouble while you're there and you're representing the company, don't expect to have a fucking job anymore.
Right.
It's like, get the fuck out of here with this shit.
Yeah.
And then the second job, honestly, it sucks that people have to work 2 jobs. But the second job, saying like, no, if you go, you're not coming back to a job. No, I'm not writing a fucking note saying that.
Yeah, that's just a power fucking trip.
Yeah.
It's nothing more than a power trip.
That's just ego and control. It's like, well, maybe you're better off without that job. I mean, your bank account probably isn't, which unfortunately fucking affects everything nowadays.
Yeah, you can't afford not to work anymore.
It's so fucking nuts.
I mean, I guess you can't afford not to work. Well, it depends. Never mind. My brain just went in like a whole rabbit hole within a matter of seconds. Yeah, the situation sucks. The boss number 2 is just a straight up fucking asshole. So if there was something going on where you couldn't take the time off, although I'm curious, like, do you accrue vacation time? Like, are you not allowed to take that when you want to? Not that you would want you to go work more, but just curious. And then also, if you're really needed at job number 2 and you just can't spare you for whatever 3 or 4 days that you need to go to Vegas, just be a decent person and be like, here's a letter to the other boss. So that at least the other boss is like, okay, like you're not just blowing smoke up my ass, you know? Stupid. Fucking work is stupid.
I got hit with that shit by your current boss.
Oh, not my current boss anymore.
No.
Oh.
Your current boss.
Oh, okay. The one that threw me under the bus today?
Yeah, the one that threw you under the bus today.
Okay.
Like, I was going overseas to work, and there was one year where it was like, go overseas. The country I was going to, I can say it doesn't matter. I was going to Israel.
You've said it before, I feel like.
Yeah. Israel, when you go there, you don't get a work visa. You get a traveler's visa. That visa is good for 90 days. They tell you in customs when you get into the airport, you have 90 days to be out of the country. If you're caught in the country, you go to jail and we kick you out of the country if you're not out in that time. Now, they do make exceptions. They're just trying to
make sure,
make sure you need to be gone.
Yeah.
So there was one year where it was like 3 months, come home for a couple weeks, go back 3 months, come home for a couple weeks, go back 3.
Because it doesn't matter how long you're out of the country, just as long as you're out of the country and you show a different entry date.
Yeah, you show a different entry date, but they didn't know that until they were doing this with me. Oh. They didn't know that Israel actually pays attention to this. And once you're there like 2 times in a year, once you're there 6 months in a year, you have to be out of the country for 1 month before you can come back in, and they found that out with me.
So did you get trapped?
No. I came back, and when I was there, it was like, hey, you can only be here for like a couple more days, and then you have to go back, and you have to go back for 30 days before you can come back. And I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever. And I came back, and the 30 days was coming up, and your current boss was like, oh, we're going to send you back to Israel. And I was like, okay, cool. You know, and there was some controversy. There was some controversy when I went back to Israel. Part of the controversy was no one wanted to go because they were at fucking war. I didn't care. And there was another controversy that came a little after that, but it was
Us dating?
us dating. Yes. It wasn't a rule that we couldn't date, but because I was
helping with training.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I wasn't even under these people. They were like,
didn't even train me.
And I didn't even train. Yeah. Okay. They were like, oh, you can't date any of the trainees. And it was like, well, you can't make that fucking rule.
Yeah. It's not a rule.
And so I came back, and there was all this fucking hoopla with these people.
I ruined his life.
And your current boss looked at me and said, well, we sent you to Israel because they knew how much I loved going to Israel. Yeah. And I was like, get the fuck out.
I was working.
I was working.
Yeah.
When I would go to Israel, it was 6 days a week, 8 hours a day. Yes, we were getting paid overtime, but still.
It's not a vacation. You're working.
Yeah, I'm not on vacation. 50 hours a week I was working, which to some people is not that much, but 50 hours a week, you don't have much time to go do shit.
Yeah.
And
the one day you have off, the entire country is shut down.
Yeah, the one day you have off, Saturday, the entire country is shut down for Shabbat. And like all of my friends in Israel couldn't do anything because they're not, the religious ones, they can't use their phone. They can't watch TV. They can't go out. They can't get in a car. They can't do anything, and it's like when she said that to me, I was like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, I was doing you a favor. You weren't doing me a favor.
Like,
get the fuck out of here.
Don't try to put that no one else wanted to go. So I would go because, I love the war. It was fucking awesome.
I love war.
But it's like, don't put this on me like you were doing me a favor. You weren't doing me a favor. I was doing you a favor.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's that story.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers.
Stupid. Yeah. We told our story on the pod a long time ago. So it wasn't scandalous. People like to make it scandalous, but it wasn't. You weren't my superior.
No.
We were pretty much equals. You were a little bit higher in the company, but it wasn't like you were a supervisor of any sort.
Yeah.
They're just dicks. They don't like anyone being happy.
They were egotistical, power hungry people.
Yeah.
And that's typical of a lot of the people that are in managerial positions.
Yeah.
In a lot of companies.
Yeah.
Like they get to that managerial position and they just want to like hold everything over everyone else's head. And it's like, geez, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Yeah.
Just
fuck off.
I come to work, I do my job. Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah. Eat dicks. On that note, we kind of started a segment last season that only lasted one episode, even though we had a couple other things from this person. We're going to try to bring it back at least a little occasionally. This is our good pal, Dustin Holden from the Dustin Can Read and Watch and the Rewatch Recap. That's hard to say.
Rewatch Recap.
Okay, show off podcasts. And he's got a little rant for us. So we're going to listen to that right now.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do from now on, okay? We are going to let the copier paper just run out. Just let it run out before you refill it. Do not open up a pack of paper and refill the copier paper just halfway through, with your excuse being, but I don't want to have to do that later. Yeah, but then you leave an open pack of paper out, and it doesn't make sense. Just let the copy paper run out, and then refill it with the entire pack of paper. That way you have no open packs of paper left. That's it. Why not? It's not hard. It's really not that hard, I promise you. Oh, but what about, we can leave the paper open if anybody just needs a spare piece or two. They can, you know what they can do? They can open up the copy paper tray, take some out from there. Not hard. Okay? So just do that from now on. It makes the most sense. And it looks the cleanest, actually, because when you leave an open pack, it just feels not as well kept, Maybe that's just me being a little too organized, but that's my problem, not yours. You should still do this. This just makes more sense.
Boom goes the dynamite.
It's so funny how much rage and anger printers and copiers can cause. I've been there. I have been there, Dustin.
Yeah.
You have valid points there. All right, before we get back into a couple more work-related things, we're going to listen to a quick promo from one of our podcast friends.
The Super Familiar with the Wilsons podcast. You know that family whose house you hung out in when you were a kid? The house was a little loud and chaotic, but always fun, and sometimes felt more home than home. Well, that's us.
We're the Wilsons, and we welcome you into our podcast with silly chat, ridiculous games, and interviews with interesting people.
Like a spin doctor. The Super Familiar with the Wilsons podcast.
Welcome home.
All right, we are back. Go listen to whatever promo we just played.
Go listen to them. It's a great podcast.
It's the best podcast. It's best favorite podcast.
It's the most best favorite podcast.
Oh, fuck. I think I'm a little tipsy.
Uh-oh. Well, you're a beer and a half in. You're fucking hammered.
I'm a beer and a half in, and I just honestly have not been eating much the past week because of just sadness. So this is hitting me real fast, but it's all good. I'm having fun.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Having fun.
Mm-hmm. In our season opener, we read a couple little snippets from an article from, I guess, workable.com called Workplace Horror Stories We Wish Were Not Real. So we're going to read a couple more of those today. And I guess I will go first because that's what my notes say. This one is when the cool company culture turns out to be lukewarm.
Oh, dang.
Years ago, I worked for a tech company that loved to brag about how laid back and hip it was. We had the standard industry perks like snacks and drinks and a pool table in the kitchen. The CEO, convinced that employees were wasting time enjoying these benefits, installed a hidden camera in the kitchen and began sending out company-wide emails calling out individual employees for consuming more than their fair share of snacks or drinks or spending too much time at the pool table. Oh boy, do I have thoughts on this.
Yep. The snacks.
First of all, if you're going to...
First of all, her finger's in my face right now. First of all, if you're going to provide such benefits to your fucking employees, yes, obviously make sure they're not sitting there eating snacks and playing pool all day, but fuck you for being a micromanager about people wanting to enjoy these things. Second point, which is kind of on the opposite end of this. If your company is providing you with free snacks, that doesn't mean they're there to feed your whole goddamn fucking family and yourself for weeks on end. Now, I'm saying this, I'm sure we've talked about this on the podcast before, but I can't remember, so I'm going to keep this slightly brief. Our company used to provide snacks for us. They'd go to like Costco and get a variety of packs of shit, and 3 days a week, they'd bring these things into the break room, wheel them out, set them up. Within fucking minutes, the shit was gone. Oh, yeah.
Gone. And people were taking armfuls or bringing empty boxes in and filling up the boxes with snacks. So by the time somebody who was like in a meeting or couldn't get out there, the second they came out, got no snacks. And it was just such a disgusting display of humanity.
Yeah.
I was so glad when they finally decided to stop giving the snacks because it was just so gross.
I mean, I stopped. I would go and just get leftover snacks, but it was disgusting. The most disgusting part is like, you're at work. You have work to do. We had work then. And the people who were putting out the snacks, that wasn't their job. they had other responsibilities there. So their timing to get the snacks out would vary from day to day.
Mm-hmm.
There was a fucking line of people a half hour before the snacks were even put out, and they would just stand there in the break room, stand there because they want to be first at the snacks. And you would see people coming in with their fucking shirt pulled up like a goddamn Halloween candy bowl
Yeah.
full of snacks. And it's like, what? You have 5 bags of chips, 4 things of jerky, cookies, crackers, oatmeal, cereal. Like our company the snacks were not shit.
No, they were decent snacks.
It was decent snacks. And then the best part is the people who, when all the snacks were gone, because I don't know, they're hoarders or there's some sort of mental deficiency going there, they would go take the boxes or the plastic bins that the snacks came in, and they would take those home with them.
Yeah.
Because you can never have enough
Shitty
thin
plastic
bins and fucking variety pack potato chip boxes. You can never have enough of those.
Okay. I'm gonna counterpoint you to this. Maybe they were like super crafty DIYers and they had all kinds of fun crafts planned for those things. He's rolling his eyes at me. But yes, most likely they were
I'm not
hoarders.
even going to fucking answer.
Because I know even crafty people who like take that stuff, they're like, oh, I want to be sustainable or whatever, environmentally conscious. I can make a craft out of this. And then it ends up just sitting in their place and collecting more and more of that shit forever because they don't ever actually make the crafts.
Yeah, those plastic bins are probably stacked up in their fucking living room, eye level to a 6-foot person. Multiple columns. It was just
an extreme example of how nobody thinks about anybody fucking else but themselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
they know that these snacks are for everybody, but they're going to come in and just take as much as they want because fuck everybody else.
And here's the fucked up part. I think some of them, yes, they have to know that the snacks are for everyone, but the only thing that goes through their head is that the snacks are free.
Yeah.
And so once that snacks are free hits their brain, everyone else just like fucking dissipates into smoke.
Yeah.
And they're just not there. It's just me.
They're owed to me.
And it's like fucking A.
Yeah, it's insane. It was just a disgusting display of humanity, and I'm so glad to not have to witness it anymore.
Yeah, I was so happy when the announcement was made that like, hey, we can't afford this anymore. We're stopping the snacks, because it got to the point where like I would go eat breakfast with the person that I've been eating breakfast with for a while.
Your work wife.
I would go eat breakfast with her right around the time that the snacks would come out.
Ugh.
We would go at 9:00. Snacks were usually there around like 9:15. We would get in there and we would have to walk through the line that was forming for the snacks.
Yeah.
Because the snacks weren't even there. And there was a line of 20 people just lined up around the break room, and we'd eat our breakfast and both of us were like, this is so fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
These fucking, like, there's work you can be doing. And it's not like we're like workaholics. You guys should be working, but it's like, fuck, you're giving free snacks and you're blowing half an hour of your day to wait for those free snacks.
And then you're going to take your break after that too.
Yeah. And then you're taking the snacks and going outside and shoving them in your face.
Yeah.
And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. So I stopped. I was like, fuck these snacks. I'll come in at lunch. When I go to my lunch at like 11:30, I'll come in. If there's Twizzlers or whatever is left, I'll grab a couple of those. Every once in a while, I'd go in and I'd grab Kay some Pringles, because it was basically the only snack that was for her people.
Kay loves Pringles.
Kay loves Pringles.
I love Pringles. But yeah, I was just going to bring that point up. Most of those snacks I don't eat. And so the shit that I can eat would go so fast. And not like I expect people to cater to me, but if everyone just took 1 or 2 things, there would be enough for everyone to go around. And it was just within, like I said in the beginning, within minutes, just decimated.
I mean, we could go off on this for an hour.
This is just a whole psychological fucking.
Do you remember the part when they sent out the email and they were like 3 snacks per person? And then you had the fucking policeman who would stand in there. And if you're taking more than 3 snacks, you had to answer to them.
Oh, I didn't witness that.
I did, because people would say it to me. Because I'd get a bag of chips. I'd get you some. Remember, I used to get.
Yeah.
You guys in the training room, you would never.
Yeah, we couldn't leave.
You couldn't leave the training room. You had a training group. So I would go in there and I'd get cashews for one person, Pringles for you, chips for this person, chips for this person. And then I get chips and I would have, like, I'm walking out and people be like, it's 3 per person. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm getting the whole fucking training room. I'm getting them all snacks because by the time you're done with it, with your big ass, there's no snacks left.
Right.
You know, and it was just like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. If you guys have experienced any kind of snack drama in your workplace, we'd love to hear about it. Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, believe me, there have been so many conversations with work colleagues and friends about this shit.
Oh, yeah.
It was just a mess. All right, we've got another workplace. It says horror stories, but they're just kind of shit situations. So Jay's going to read one for us.
All right. This story is called When Irrelevant Tasks Take Up Most of Your Time.
All day, every day. Before you go into that, I just want to say, like, I had this moment of clarity last week. Just because of all the shit that was going on with Willow. And then it was a really busy week for my department at work. And I felt horrible leaving my coworker having to take most of the work because I was not just mentally there, but like she was totally cool with it. She was fine. But I was thinking about it. I was like, oh my God, they're like, you know, my dog is not well. I need to go be with her. Oh, but this shit has to get done and blah, blah. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, our work is so fucking asinine. Like, if this shit doesn't get done,
what happens?
Nobody dies.
Nope.
The world will go on. And it's just so fucking unimportant that it just gave me a moment of clarity of just like, this shit doesn't matter.
Just because it doesn't happen one week, guess what? It'll happen. Maybe the next week or the next day. Yeah. Like, we're not hinged on people's fucking survival.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway.
So this one is called When Irrelevant Tasks Take Up Most of Your Time. I was working as an intern at a nonprofit company where the operations and purpose were a bit shady. The owner, a former politician, that's all you had to say,
done.
Usually sat in his office, which had only a small glass window looking into the area where we were working. At some point, he asked me to create a list of investor companies in the United Arab Emirates to find a few economic problems that Serbia was facing.
Ooh, what do they call it? An economic hitman?
Ooh. That man be killing people.
Or economies.
Yeah, same thing. And then call the Serbian embassy to arrange a meeting with their financial director.
Wait, the financial director of the country?
I guess so.
Or I guess just
of the embassy. Yeah.
Okay. That makes more sense.
I did everything he asked, wondering what that was all about. When the financial director agreed to come and meet him, he told me his plan. I was supposed to listen in on this meeting, and each time he mentioned Serbia, I would hold cards with the economic issues I had found in front of his office window so he could appear knowledgeable to the director. Jesus fucking Christ.
Wow.
When he mentioned something I didn't really have, I'd Google it on the spot, write it on a new card, and hold it up like the others.
Jesus Christ.
He'd also tell the financial director that his company collaborated with all the Emirate investors in the list in order to earn her trust. I left his company shortly after. Well, yeah.
Yeah, that is fucking weird.
You would think that all these things that you're holding up on cards, he could have on a fucking computer.
Right, on a laptop in front of him.
Like notes.
It's not going to look weird for him to be like looking at a window. Right.
Yeah.
Stupid. That's dumb. All right, the last one for
and
today.
then Serbia's government fell 2 weeks later.
Yeah. All right, the last one for today from this article. We will link the entire article in the show notes, but we're going to continue going through these throughout the episodes. But here's the last one for today. When you just want to work legally. In my very first day job, I was hired as a PA to the CEO of a medical company. I had just completed my graduate degree in communications and was thrilled to find a job in what I thought looked like a really decent company. They never are. I was also told that I would take on marketing tasks. I couldn't wait to dive in. I started off working 6 hours per day for the minimum wage, but that was okay because I was going to be full-time in a couple months and get a raise. Oh, honey. Or so I thought. I never got a raise, and I hardly did any marketing tasks. However, I did end up with a proper working bench, illegally boxing and shipping drugs to patients with long-term diseases.
Fuck yeah. Cocaína.
I found out later on that the company was actually laundering money for a big pharmaceutical. That's Merca for you, everybody.
Like,
I could go off. I've also been dealing with a medical fucking issue since June, and that it is just my fucking skin is boiling with our medical situation here in the States.
Yeah, if you need help,
fuck you.
You pay your insurance, and you keep paying your insurance, and then again, fuck you.
Yeah,
but also.
Fuck you.
There's a new strain of the flu, so go get a shot for free.
Yeah, we'll give you a flu shot, but anything else,
and the government will pay the company who made this flu shot billions, and you can just take it and be happy. And all your other ailments, well,
fuck you.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, go fuck all yourselves. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that, but yeah, that's another. It's just been a stressful few months. God damn it.
Yeah,
but whatever. This is a fun comedy podcast.
Yay!
That's right. Anyway, fuckers.
Well, don't get me started on those little fuckers.
Yeah, kids are shit. Sorry to parents who are listening. We love your children. Thank you everybody for listening and sticking with us through.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Everything.
Yeah, we went on a couple rants, but it's all good. It's been a little bit since we've gotten to
rant.
Yeah. That word or another word.
Oh, and I do want to apologize for the sound quality of our first episode. Jay sounded great. I sounded like absolute shit, and I don't know why.
I always sound great.
So I know it was a little rough. I tried all I could do to make it sound better in editing, and it still sounded like I was on a phone, like I was calling it on a telephone. But
yeah,
we'll try to not let that happen.
It'll sound good this time.
Yeah, we tested it this time. It should sound okay. And if it doesn't, I also apologize. I won't know until I start editing it.
Yep. But you'll listen and
yeah. Any hoozle, we love you fuckers very much. Please send your workplace stories. Tell your friends to send their workplace stories. We gave you some ideas throughout this episode of shit you could send in, but we'll take any of your just weird, interesting, funny, scary, just
any
what the fuck type of workplace. Yep. If you just want to rant for a couple minutes,
exactly
like Dustin did, with his printer rant, send us a voicemail. All that shit will be at the end of this and in our show notes. You can get our phone number, our email. We want to hear from you because we love you fuckers.
We do.
Anything
Kay
else
a little more than me, but whatever.
Yeah. I love you.
I'm a man.
I love you more. Jay doesn't feel things. All right, fuckers. Bye.
Bye, fuckers. Thanks for listening to the Fuck My Work Life podcast. If you're enjoying the show, please consider rating us on your favorite podcast platform. We love to hear your workplace stories, so send them our way to fmwlpod@gmail.com or leave us a message at 310-818-3333. 3273. For more fun content, follow us on TikTok, Threads, and Instagram at FMWL Pod. You can also chat with us and your fellow fuckers on our Discord channel. You can find all our links in the show notes. Until next time, bye, fuckers. Goddamn.